Hey. Well, that was rude. Nuclear Nightmare. It's basically The Thing. The video game. It's also a game that I never beat because of it being genuinely hard and a broken, buggy mess. So, let's change that. Alright, attempt number 1. And hopefully, the only attempt that I will need, because this game takes, at most, over an hour to complete. I spawn up here at Medbay. In order for me to beat the game, I need to complete every objective at all these flags. Every area has a generator that needs to be activated for power. The objectives are very simple. It's getting to them that is the hard part. During the day, no monsters spawn, but if you've ever played Minecraft, you know what happens at night. And honestly, it's actually quite terrifying alone, but I will get there. Spawning up here is actually fantastic, as it means I can get the most out-of-the-way tasks done without having to backtrack. Medbay does have the major disadvantage of being very small. That means I hardly get any supplies to defend myself for when night comes. So I quickly finish the task and speed on over to the drilling rig. Now I don't want to say that I spent nearly 10 minutes trying to find the generator, so I'm not going to.
Where am I right now?
But I did finish the task swiftly after that.
That could have been done in like 2 seconds.
But, it's night now. Fantastic news. Now, the night gives me 2 options. I either hunker down and wait for the day or try to head on over to the next area. Given that I have a limited amount of time, I decide to brave the dark. On my way, I encounter the first creature of the night. I am not scared of you, bear creature?
I did it.
Alright, here I am at the underground silo. One of the most dangerous areas in the game. You have to traverse down this absurdly long staircase in order to do any of the objectives. And when I reached the bottom, I could hear the eerie sounds of something lurking above.
Where's that? Where is that?
Alright, there was a slight problem. I really had to use the bathroom. Yeah, I'm sure everything will be fine here. And it was. After struggling to complete the objective, I finally did it and was ready to move on. You know, maybe this will be a first try. I think this moment completely fried my circuits. I knew that creature was lurking somewhere, but there was no indication that it made its way down. Now, it may seem like it didn't do much, but there's a problem. There is an infection mechanic in this game. Getting attacked by an enemy almost guarantees you are now infected. That infection builds up over time, and then you die. Now, you can't cure it with a vaccine. That I didn't have. I might not have actually even been infected, but my brain was so cooked that I thought I didn't do the objective when I actually did, and so I went back down, walked over the corpse, which can also infect you just by being near it, and then instantly died. Well, no more first try. Alright, attempt number 2. This time I spawn on what is essentially the opposite side of the map in base camp number 1. It's also fairly close to being in the middle of the map, which is not a good thing. That means that I need to backtrack through one side of the map after I complete it. Well, you know, that's not a promising start. Wait, is that a flamethrower? We're saved! We are saved! So, flamethrowers in this game are extremely good. They don't need to reload, they instantly kill everything, and there is a perk you can get that will instantly refuel it once it reaches 0%. I also find a glow stick, painkillers, and what I think is an MPK5. I don't know guns, okay, don't flame me in the comments if it's not. I head on over to the research center in order to complete this side of the map as quickly as possible. A quick note about the objective here. I never actually knew what to do for this one. I assumed that one of these sets of solar panels had the residue, but no. It's one of these solar panels on the sides of the buildings. Why does this one building have 200 sets of solar panels? Alright, by the time I arrive at the slaughterhouse, it is now night. These wooden doors apparently need power in order to open. Just thought I would point that out. Despite the fact that it is nighttime, no monsters spawn. Aside from the fact that the place is infested with worms!
Worm. Oh my, okay. Just take photos. Worm!
Oh. Somehow I managed to dodge them. Also, I tamed a dog with some bacon. That's gonna be important later. No time to hunker down. Straight to the airport I go. If it ever seems like I'm jumping around a lot in this, most of the gameplay kind of looks and sounds like this. It's really good at setting the atmosphere. Not very good for footage. The airport is a massive place, and my objective is to photograph a body. Very helpful. I find a vaccine in this tent and... oh no. Pause. Alright, so, remember how I said this game was a bit buggy? This is one of the most devastating ones. I know I'm smiling, but I'm actually... It's not what I might... Enemies hitting you essentially stun locks you. Meaning that I am basically dead here. Oh. Never mind. Yeah, I actually managed to escape by turning around and sprinting the other way. Can't believe I never tried that before. Hey, thanks for the help back there, buddy. I really appreciate all you've done for me. It is a good thing I found that vaccine, because I surely was infected by that encounter. I also learned that the flamethrower can't hit anything too close to it. But my troubles were not over for the night.
Oh no, the crusty crab guy got away. What the? Where's my crosshair? What do I, why is there one behind me? Why is there one behind me? I have 8 shots to kill this stupid head crab. Come here! Quit running! I got it.
Finally, the monsters are dead and the day has come. Although I am literally one hit away from dying and don't have much ammo left, so I essentially spend the entire next day making my way back through all the previous areas before stopping back at base camp number 1. The place where I started. I think it's time to hunker down. You know, aside from the fact that this building should be burning down right now and the alien corpse, it's actually kind of peaceful here. Surprisingly, nothing else happens that night. I found a way to peek out the window and see if anything was out there, but there wasn't. I eventually found the courage to go out and make my way to the next area. Alright, I guess there was one more creature. Before I left, I grabbed a perk from the vending machine. What does that mean? Well, you essentially unlock perks through points and select which ones you want to bring into the game. However, you don't have them until you roll them in the machine. The perk I got, it increases my vehicle speed by 50% at the cost of 15% more fuel usage.
Oh, jeez.
Here I am at base camp number 2, where I find a shotgun and get the perk that refuels my flamethrower. Now, I need to head east to complete the 2 objectives over there. So, I rush over to the oil plant, complete its objective, then speed on down to the shelter, where I photograph a giant worm corpse before heading straight back to the oil plant. Now I have a difficult decision to make. The entire game is on a time limit. If you don't complete the objectives in around 70 minutes, you get nuked. So hunkering down might be safe, but it's also time consuming. But given that the next objective was over 1,000 meters away, and I still had not found painkillers to replenish my health, I just decided to stay. Okay, well, I'm still gonna hunker down. And honestly, this might be the most tense I have ever felt in a video game.
It's standing underneath the building. I can see its head.
The night did not relent. I don't know if the enemies ramped up as the game went on, but my goodness, I was holding my gun to that door. And you know, when I got into that snowcat, I had never felt more secure. I drove that baby for miles. Well, I drove that baby for meters, all the way to the satellite. This isn't the same as other objectives. It needs to be turned on in order to call the escape helicopter. Now, the escape helicopter can actually be called with 0 objectives done, assuming you turn on the satellite. But I'm trying to get all 10. So once I turned the satellite on, it was straight to the underground silo, the place where I had died previously. Luckily this time it was the middle of the day, so I completed that task as quickly as possible, and then I made my way to medbay. Now, it says here that I need to find a vaccine. So I assume this is probably going to be pretty difficult. Oh. Alright, straight to the final objective, the drilling rig. I was hoping that I could do it before the night came once more, but this is the drilling rig. And I can't just hunker down here because I have around 10 minutes left to complete the objective and call the helicopter. Worm! I did it! I completed the final objective. The only thing I have to do now is call a helicopter and get to safety.
I can't put my light down.
I did it. Like, I actually beat the game solo while doing all of the objectives. So, what now? Yeah, this game might be a little broken, but it is fun. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to like and comment down below. Thanks for watching.